When you solve a problem, you can use two ways of thinking: the divergent thinking and the convergent thinking. And those are the two ways of thinking that you also use on your case interview. I will explain you what they are and when you use it, because it is important for you to know the difference. First of all, the divergent thinking. That's when you open up your mind, your problem, to new ideas, new issues. And the divergent is the contrary. You narrow down. Imagine a camera focusing on a specific part of the scenery. That is converging, focusing, narrowing down the solutions. So for example, if you're solving a case, which is how you reduce traffic accidents in California, the first thing you do is, of course, define that problem, define the issue. And then you move on to the structuring of the problem. And structuring starts with divergent thinking. Yes, divergent thinking doesn't mean unstructured thinking. It means opening up your mind, but in a structured way. So you would start analyzing, for example, what can we do about rules and regulations, for example, speed limits. Then you could move on to what can we do in terms of the penalties for infringing those regulations, for example, fines. And then how can we increase the enforcement of those rules and penalties by, for example, installing speed radars. You can also explore what can we do to raise awareness in the population, in the drivers, to reduce their speed or drive safe in a safer way. So at this stage, you are being divergent, meaning you're open to any possibility, any idea. Now, as you move on into the structuring, by the end, you should start converging, meaning identify the 4, 5 maximum issues that are the most important, the priority issues. In consulting, very often we call them the low-hanging fruits, the ones that deliver the most impact. For example, if one of the issues was, let's get the mayor or the governor of California to do a public address, it's an idea, but it may be not the most actionable or relevant in this context. So you start structuring the case with divergent thinking. Everything is possible, every idea is welcome, and then you end with a convergent, a focused approach where you say, I will start analyzing 1, 2, and 3 of these issues that I identified. That's the difference between convergent and divergent thinking. And then as you move along into the case, again, you will use a combination of both. For example, if later in the interview, your interviewer asks you, how would you make a compelling campaign to raise public awareness of the safety issues? You could start also with divergent issues by raising a series of possibilities and then converging in the end towards a solution. That's the right way to use those two ways of thinking. You don't want to reverse them. You want to use it in this order.